Hey, so what y'all think about the Yeehaw Easy? Just kind of, I think drinks like a Bud Heavy, and that's going to be what's going to dominate your coolers. I mean, is Bud and Bud Light, those types of things. Michelob Ultra is hottest beer ever, and it's $2 or $3 a case more than the regular stuff, and $10 a keg higher too. I don't know why, but it just is. I guess it's supply and demand. But next up, we're going to come to one of well, it actually is America's oldest brewery. They just celebrated 190 years of being in business, and that's Yuengling Brewery up in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. This is their traditional lager. It actually has not been made by Yuengling for that long, not in when you think about how long they've been around. I think Yuengling traditional lager was only introduced in like 1987 or something like that, but really, really rapidly became, their flagship beer. But what Yuengling Lager is, an American amber lager, and it's rich and malty and, kind of darker in color, a lot of caramel aromas, just smooth and easy taste, just really good, easy drinking beer, but a little bit darker and a little bit heavier than what you think about on your traditional, domestic, domestic beers. But, once again, it's lager too. So it's, using a little bit more fragile yeast. I mean, settles on the bottom, a little bit bigger production. They actually have, I think, a brewery, the main brewery in Pottsville, and then I think they have one that was an old like Stroh's brewery down in Tampa that they bought, I think about 10 or 15 years ago, something like that. But Yuengling is really, really, really cool, kind of story of American, perseverance. It actually was started, like I said, 190 years ago by, a German immigrant, and remained in the family, throughout its entire existence, all through, Prohibition. They made near beer to survive and opened a dairy across the street and everything else. And, have actually really, really, really blown up in the last probably, I'd say 20, 25 years, something like that. But great beer, and I mean, and just easy drinking option, and it's usually cheap. You can usually buy Yuengling for basically the same price as what you buy Bud, Miller, or Coors. So nice, great little example of a really good, American lager that's got some depth to it and some structure, and just not just basically cornflakes in a can. So give it a try and see what you think about that, and I will be back with you. Oh, and I will tell you, Dick Yuengling, who's actually the president and CEO of Yuengling, he's blessed like myself. So he has 4 daughters. I have 3 daughters, but all 4 of Dick Yuengling's daughters actually still work at the brewery, which I think is pretty cool. They've stayed in the business and all that. So that is the Yuengling traditional lager, and see you back in a second.